Present.
Brian Peruta. Jill Kravitz, here. Joseph Albert. Jo Marie Nelson.
Here.
And John Ungary.
Here.
Okay, I'd like to seat Joe Perello as a full voting member this evening. Can we have stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Next item is executive sessions. We don't have anything tonight, Jim, correct? No. Public participation, is there anybody in the audience wishing to address the agency tonight? No, okay. Public hearings, none scheduled. Correspondence, Jim, what do we have?
Good evening. In your packet, you'll find Enfield Planning and Zoning Commission Notice of Actions from March 1st, 2012, as well as 2 permit applications from the DEEP in reference to Crescent Lake and Shaker Pines Lake. Those came into the office, and I made copies of them to share with the agency. I believe it's just a matter of administrative. They're going to put pesticides in the ponds, and part of the application is to notify the local agency of that action. So we were notified. And the last piece is the 2012 Municipal Inland Wetlands Commission Training Program. And with that, there's the brochure. And in my office, we have a voucher for one session. So if there's someone who you'd like to send to that, I can sign them up, or they can sign up themselves, and
Okay.
we'll send the voucher in, and it's paid for.
This is the same, I think Jose had sent out an email last week.
Correct.
Regarding this as well, same
That's right.
thing,
Yep.
okay. And for some of the newer members that haven't attended, it really is a great thing, and I believe correct me if I'm wrong, if you go to all 3, is this the one where you get your certification
All
within a
3,
year?
correct. All 3 will get you a certification, and I'll be doing all 3. I had mine already started, so the voucher, I don't need the voucher.
Okay.
So it's out there. The first one you can do online or go to a Saturday class, an all-day Saturday event. I believe it's in Torrington this year. And then the second session is offered on Wednesday mornings, 2 Wednesday mornings or 2 Saturdays. So whatever works better for you. There's like 4 sessions for segment 2. But I think that's usually most agency members just do those 2.
Right.
And the
Well,
third one.
some have gone, I think the third one is a field session, right?
Right, it's
Where
more
you're
of a
out in the
f-
field,
more-
and some of our previous members
Okay.
have done that one as well, but, I mean, even if you did 1 or 2, you know, just to get a feel of it, it gives you a lot of information if you're interested.
Okay, and that's it for correspondence.
Okay, and just so we're aware, because I wasn't aware, Jim will be our new staff liaison member. Jose's kind of taking a step back. He's just going to be with P&Z and doing his regular duties. Prior to Katie leaving, he wasn't our staff liaison, really. So kind of just back to where we started. So welcome, Jim.
Thank you.
Hope Jose enjoys his time off.
I don't think it's time off.
Okay, Commissioner correspondence, site visit updates. Roby, do you have anything? Nope. Jill?
Wasn't assigned a site, but I did go visit the Hazardville Water Company site. Just took a look around, just to see there's some markers there and, you know, some activity of planning. Just wanted to get an idea for myself what it looked like, and can't wait to see what they come forward with us, you know, to propose next.
Okay.
I have nothing.
John? No? Okay. I just have a couple of things. First of all, the Council of Chairs meeting is tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I believe. I believe it's 7. It's either 6:30 or 7. If anybody's interested in attending, basically it's the chairmans of the different commissions in town meet with some town staff and Scott Copen. the last one I went to, which was the first one I've ever gone to, there was other members besides just the chairman. So if anybody's interested in going, you're welcome to join me. It's just kind of a back and forth, not so formatted thing. So if you have anything you want to talk to town staff about, it's a really great opportunity.
And that's
So feel-
not the 28th?
No, this one is
Okay.
council of chairs, and this one's tomorrow night at 7. The training that Jose had sent out, you all saw that, right? That's the 28th.
Okay.
And I think that'll be a great one to attend as well. We had done that a few years ago, and I think I think that was more FOI stuff, but we could all use a refresher, if that's what it is. That's all I have. All right, approval of minutes, March 6, 2012. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
And I will second that motion.
Okay, motion made by Joe Perello, seconded by Jill Kravitz. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Okay, wetlands agent report. Anything, Jim?
Yes, in your packet, you will find a draft letter that I wrote pertaining to the Marshall Butler and Nancy Butler property on 8 Sharp. We spoke about that last meeting, and I drafted that letter and eager to hear your comments and make any necessary changes.
Have all of you had a chance to look this over and see the pictures? Okay. Has anybody actually been out to the site? Has any been able to take a look at it? No? Okay. I think it's great. I like didn't even know that item 15 was in there. I mean, he doesn't need a topography certified to T2 accuracy. I didn't realize that was in there to begin with. Basically, we're allowing him, if I'm reading this correctly, until June 1st, 2012, to take care of all the disturbed areas that you mentioned in this?
Yeah,
To agree to it or to do it?
to do it.
To do it.
And I picked that date because typically any kind of seeding operations have to be done in May. You know, we couldn't do it any sooner than May.
Right.
But he has April to, we move on this, and he has April to prepare for it, respond to us, and May to get the work done by June 1st. It's gone on
Okay.
quite a long time. I don't think that putting some hard time frame to it now is unreasonable.
Okay. And you're confident that, I mean, the slope is stable? He had hail I haven't been down there in a while. Hail,
Hay bales,
Hay
and
bales.
they're long gone, to be honest. They
Okay, so-
deteriorated last year. But the bank appears to be stable. There's no active slides. There's no bare soil.
Okay.
It is vegetated with natural stuff that came in, But what I've talked to him about and what we talked about last week is going a little above that and adding some more seed, something a little more of a conservation mix and erosion control mix to really firm it up, and also to create a barrier, it'll be a no-mow zone, if you want to call it that, where he doesn't go that close to the edge, and it kind of keep him off of it, and maybe separate the yard from the slope. And as you'll see in the sketch that I drew, that's kind of like the line where I drew between the lawn and the slope.
Okay, so you have not sent this letter out to him yet?
No, waiting for your approval.
Does anybody have any comments or questions for Jim?
I just think we've been very lenient with this guy. And I think back in some minutes, way back, the town council warned him about and he agreed to do all this stuff. That was a long time ago. So he's really pushing it now,
It's been 2.5 years, so, yeah.
you know.
Not to interject or to defend or anyone, but based on the pictures that I've seen, and I'm the new person on the block here, from what it looked like to what it looks like now, there has been some major changes. He did do something out there. Was it exactly what everyone talked about in 2006 or 2007? I don't know, but looking at the before pictures and looking what's out there last month, you know, the piles of dirt are spread out. The garbage that was there is gone. The slope is a slope, not just a cliff, and it is vegetated, so.
Okay. Which is what we're concerned with, so, I mean, that's,
I just don't wanna set a precedent where we're, you know, somebody else is gonna have these same problems or worse. I'm not gonna say, well, you gave this guy 5
Well,
years.
and that's why this letter is written the way it is. It gives a firm deadline, and this is it. This is this letter, and then it goes to the town attorney's office, and that's it.
any other comments, questions? No? Well, this is the final piece, so I think it's, I mean, what are you looking for from us? Just a,
Do you like it?
it
No.
looks fine to me. I mean, I would just, you know, have Jose, has he taken a look at it?
Yep, Jose has.
Yeah, I mean, if he agrees to it, he was part of the process. And you're gonna send it just like it is, so he'll know what the slope mix is and what the lawn mix is?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and so is he supposed to reply to you? He's supposed to,
Yes,
okay. Can you just keep us posted on that?
I will.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Is that all you had, Jim?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Item 11, bond release in the wetlands 402, 170 Hazard Ave, wetlands mitigation bond relapse. Oh, release, I'm sorry. Release in the amount of $8,658. Okay, so we all have a memo here dated March 12th from Jim, where he has, the applicants are requesting a release of their $8,658 bond for wetland mitigation activities associated with their permit to construct a medical office building at 170 Hazard Ave. I have inspected the property and found that the concerns listed in the previous inspection report dated May 20th, 2008 have been addressed. The photographs taken during my inspection are attached. Based on this inspection, it is my recommendation that the bond be fully released. The following is a proposed motion for your consideration. So, has everybody read this? Is there any discussion? Any questions for Jim? No? So if somebody wants to make a motion based on what Jim wrote here?
I would like to make a motion to approve the request for the bond release in the amount of $8,658 for wetland mitigation plantings for IW number 402, 170 Hazard Avenue, with Conch Design and Construction Company, LLC.
Okay,
I'd
motion.
like to second that motion.
Okay, motion made by Jill Kravitz, seconded by John Ungar. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Okay, item 12, old business, inland wetlands 550. Are they here? Nobody's here on their behalf tonight? Do you know if they're supposed to be here?
No, they've,
Okay.
have not given me any
We didn't,
correspondence. There has been some talk for the engineering department. They had some questions, and I think they're still gathering information and trying to decide what direction they're going on. So their clock continues to run, and I will keep them informed of that. And either they'll have to ask for an extension or, you know.
okay. Well, let me finish reading it for the record, and then, I was just wondering if they were coming later, any reason, I don't know. Inland Wetlands 550 Hazardville Water Company, drainage swale relocation and associated cuts and fills. Work required by DPH consent order number 11-049-008. Proposed activity within a watercourse and regulated area at 7A Kimberly Drive, map 86, lot 99. Submitted 1/27/12, received 2/7/12. PPE is 2/21/12, and MAD is 4/13/12. So that's mandatory action date, which is April 13th, so we would have one more meeting, we'd have to act, right?
Correct.
Okay, so, all right, so they're not here. So on to item 13, new business, DPN 2012-02-22, Thomas J. Kidder, determination of permit need to replace a portion of existing foundation with a new foundation and an additional new deck within a regulated upland review area, 78 feet of a watercourse at 34 Wheeler Drive. Map 80, lot 159, submitted 2/22/12, received 3/6/12. All right, so In our packets, what do we have here, Jim? Elevation certificate.
I believe it's the same material you received in last meeting. This was just submitted along with his application. And again, he's also required to do a flood permit through the Planning and Zoning Commission. So when I brought this to your attention last meeting, typically something like this was handled administratively, and I had asked if you wanted me to continue to do that, or if you wanted to look at it. That's why it was a determination of permit need.
Right. Is the applicant here? Is there anybody here on behalf of them? No. Okay. I mean, if they've been handled administratively in the past, does anybody have any issues with continuing to do so? I don't expect them to come.
I think Brian wanted to look at it. I
Yeah.
think he did he was going to do a site visit.
Okay. And I
without-
know he wasn't able to make it tonight, but I know he had his packet, so I'm sure if he had any questions, knowing they were on the agenda, I would have
Okay.
hoped that he would have contacted Brian.
Right.
So, is there any discussion, any questions from anybody about this?
I do have one question. The only new part to this is the elevation certificate. That wasn't included last time. What does this mean to this applicant? Why is this new?
I think it was just submitted last time.
Okay.
I think I submitted just the sketches because we were just going to talk about, how it looked, and this was attached to it, and then when we made copies this week, it was added in, so.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, so what do you need from us tonight, Joe?
Just
Whether or not, do you just
your-
need a consensus, or do you need a?
Yep, just let me know, well, I guess on this particular item, make a motion to,
That it's not needed? A permit is not needed, you can handle this?
You can handle it,
Okay,
yeah,
Somebody
administrative.
want to do that? Go right ahead. Joe?
I will make a motion for the DPN number 2012-02-22, Thomas J. Kidder, determination of permit needed to replace a portion of the existing foundation with a new foundation and additional new deck with a regulated upland review area of 78 feet of a watercourse at 34 Wheeler Drive, map 80, lot 159, submitted 2/22/12, received 3/6/12. And I think we need to say that we don't need to vote on
Whether it needs a permit.
whether it needs a permit or not.
It'll be handled administratively.
Administratively handed.
I'll second.
Motion made by Jill, seconded by Joe. All in favor? Okay. All right, item 14, new applications to be received. We have none.
None.
Item 15, other business. IWW, I think. Official map
Right.
update discussion.
I did spend a little bit of time working on the map, and I don't have it to present to you, but it's getting closer.
Okay.
So, a little technical difficulty.
It's taken quite a while, so we're glad at least you're working on it at this point. That's more than we've had, so we'll take it.
Right.
The only thing I wanted to discuss before we move on is everybody seems to have a copy of the outstanding projects that are being done. Do you have a copy of this, John?
I have a copy, but I don't have it with me.
Okay, yeah, and that's fine. Maybe if we can just all bring them to the next meeting. I would like to go through them with the new members and make sure everything that's... Can you just check with Jose and make sure this is the absolute latest, greatest? If it's not, put them in our next packet.
Okay, and I'm pretty
so?
sure it is, but I will
Okay.
check because he gave that to me, and
Okay, so we're gonna assume it is. And then we can assign the new members some projects. And then we can start getting out there, because I'm hoping we don't have any more snow.
Oh,
So,
stop.
I don't think we will. So, all right, so next meeting, we'll tackle this. And the next regular meeting is Tuesday, April 3rd, 2012, at 7 PM in the council chambers. And 15C, adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Joe. Oh, I'm sorry, do you, go ahead.
I had a couple of questions,
Go right ahead.
and this is regarding this permit application for the use of pesticides in state waters. I guess these applications apply to two lakes in the town, one Crescent Lake and the other one
Shaker Pines.
Shaker Pines Lake. And the applications, of course, call for the use of pesticides in these two lakes. What is the purpose of the pesticides in those lakes? Is this particular?
Usually it's.
It says right on the top there.
To kill aquatic
Right.
vegetation?
Yes.
Yeah, a couple of questions I had is, A, do these pesticides affect anything other than aquatic vegetation? Do they affect any of the fish and aquatic animals, biology in any other way?
I'm not a biologist. I'm sure that the DEP keeps a close watch on what the chemicals are, what's approved, what isn't approved, the quantities. I'm going to put my faith in that these people are making application because they're professionals and that this is done
Do you
in
know if
accordance.
this is done annually or is it done?
It is done annually, correct?
Annually,
Yeah,
every year we do this?
correct.
Okay, and then I just noticed one other thing in there. Bear with me for 1 minute, please.
No problem.
Sure.
The applicant compliance information that, I guess this company who's applying though had been, so there was, I guess, civil penalties imposed upon them for some unknown reason, and then also there was in section E there was during the past 5 years immediately preceding submission of this application, has any state, including Connecticut, or federal administrative agency issued any order to the applicant concerning a violation of any environmental law? And they checked off yes, so they had been cited for some violation of environmental laws, and I didn't know what the nature of that was, or if they'd be willing to discuss that in any way. I didn't know if they wouldn't be here or would be here tonight. So, those are just my comments.
If you'd like, I could look into this application further and get those answers.
Yeah, could you please?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
my question is, I mean, they just have the right to do this. They just have to notify the town, correct? I mean, they're
Yes,
not
it-
asking for a permission. This is something they just.
Right, but on page 7 of 7, you'll see at the last line is, please submit a copy of this completed application to the local inland wetlands agency. So in keeping with the application, that's what they did.
I think they notified the state also, right?
Well, yes, this goes to the state, right, correct. And also, they've been doing this since 1970.
State checks the lake twice a year, I know that. Unforeseen problems.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
So this application is to the state. It's
Correct.
not right.
Yes.
So the state, I don't know why they would.
Yeah,
You'd think somebody at the state would look into it, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
But
It said it was there for our review, and I looked at that, and I was just
Right.
wondering what those violations
it's
were.
a review, but
And
Doesn't matter
I'm
what we
wondering
said.
too, also, if they are just, in particular to these two lakes or in particular to these companies. So there might have been violations somewhere else within the state. Hopefully, we probably would have heard if it was Crescent Lake or Shaker Pines Lake. I just know that lakes that are used for recreation, if they don't do this to it, they're pretty much useless. So.
okay,
Good.
all set.
Okay.
Okay. Make a motion to adjourn.
They had one out there.
Oh,
It hasn't
sorry.
been seconded
Okay,
yet.
motion made by Joe Perello,
Second?
seconded by John Ongeyer. All in favor? Unanimous. Okay, we are adjourned.